Usually, compact crossover dashboards are gray and plain and look like they're made of melted down Tupperware, but in the new Rav4 you get stitched leather, contrasting colors and textures and depth, surrounding a slick-looking instrument cluster and a bunch of handy storage. It looks inviting and upscale and classy, but it's also very functional. It's this blending of upscale touches and functionality that Toyota hopes will take their compact crossover superstar to the head of the pack for its new 4th generation model. More functionality comes from storage space galore with the seats folded, space for grown-ups when they're not, and no fewer than a half dozen cup holders, cubbies, and compartments within the driver's immediate reach. There's a power tailgate on this top-line limited model if you don't like to open it yourself, and even a hammock for your gear. And the upscale touches on this decked-out RAV4 Limited were numerous. The JBL sound system is potent and clean and includes a trunk-mounted subwoofer so your teenagers can share their favorite dubstep tracks with other motorists. Steering wheel controls provide quick access to infotainment functions, and the leather seats are comfy and heated, and the driver gets motorized adjustments with memory. Automatic lights and climate control and navigation and full multimedia connectivity, including Bluetooth media streaming, were on board too. There's LED mood lighting to set it all off at night, and you might even spot a few of the controls, switches, and interfaces from Toyota's premium Lexus brand in here too. Power comes from a 2.5-liter, 176-horsepower 4-cylinder on all models. That's about mid-pack in terms of output, and there's no longer a V6 available because Toyota says you probably don't want one. Every model gets a 6-speed automatic. There's plenty of ground clearance for the trails, as well as a locking mode for the 4x4 system when you need more traction. They've even fitted a sport setting that reworks power distribution between the axles, tightens the steering, and dials up the transmission's performance for a more responsive feel. The heavy and stable steering and eager transmission operation enabled by the sport mode add a dose of fun factor, even if overall performance is far from mind-blowing. There's an eco mode too, which desensitizes the throttle and forces early upshifts, making it easy to save fuel. My week in the tester in less than ideal conditions saw overall mileage land at 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers, and owners can expect that figure to improve considerably as the engine breaks in. On a smooth highway cruising at a good clip, the ride is notably laid back and very quiet, which is the result of studying the new RAV4's body in the wind tunnel. To show you a bit what I mean, the edge of these headlights here is designed to channel air up to these aerodynamic side mirrors that have a couple of tweaks to keep wind away from the windshield where it'll make turbulence and noise. The outer edge of this roof structure and the roof rails are designed to cut through the air more quietly, and even this windshield is made out of acoustic laminated glass, which you'll typically find in a high-dollar luxury sedan. No issues with entry or exit, and all-around visibility is good too. Speaking of visibility, RAV4 can now watch the road ahead and around itself for safety's sake. This little camera watches the lane markings and sounds an alarm if you drift out of the lines without a signal, perhaps because you're distracted. Sensors in the back watch the blind spot area and light up this icon in the mirror if there's a vehicle there you might not see. The high-definition backup camera is fantastic and likely the clearest rear-view camera display I've ever seen. And at parking lot speeds, the steering lightens right up, making for some effortless maneuverability. My main complaint related to the ride on rougher roads. As quietly refined as it is on the highway, the RAV4's ride is largely subject to the road surface beneath it. With broken pavement passing beneath, it can feel like the shocks are getting beat up like your check luggage before an Air Canada flight. And as handy as the power tailgate sometimes is, this one beeps loudly for a few seconds before opening very slowly. All said, the RAV4 Limited should appeal to drivers after a fuel-efficient compact crossover with plenty of functionality, a pleasant cabin, and a quiet and refined highway ride, ideal for long-distance travelers. Thanks for watching.